Hey YouTube, welcome and welcome back to my channel. So as y'all can see by the title, today we're going to be talking about the fact that you can literally just decide that you're on the right path, okay? And I feel like the reason why a lot of us don't accomplish the things that we want to accomplish or go after the dreams that we have is because we're too busy waiting on somebody to give us permission. We're too busy worried about if this is the right time. We're too busy worried about if this is going to give us a certain type of outcome. We're too busy trying to live up to other people's expectations and what other people think about us. And that literally paralyzes us and stops us from doing the things that we actually want to do. And the reason why I say you can literally just decide that you're on the right path is because when you realize in life that there's literally no rules and that life is literally like a game, you'll start to see that all of the things that you actually wanted were just a choice away, because literally all the things that we do want is a choice away. Like for example, up till maybe just a few weeks ago, I was eating junk food, I was addicted to sugar and all of that stuff, but now I decided, you know what, I'm actually gonna follow through with the plans that I've always wanted. I'm actually gonna start eating whole foods. I'm actually gonna start caring about the stuff that I put in my body. Why do I care about the stuff that I put in my body? Because it helps me feel better on a day-to-day basis. It's gonna allow me to have more energy to get all of the things that I want done. Because if I don't have energy and I'm not caring about what I put in my body, not only does it lead to like things like depression and acne, bloating and all of that stuff, I'm also not going to be able to have enough energy to put into my dreams. I'm not going to be able to get up here and create content because I'm tired and I'm sluggish and I had a crash during the day. But if I get up and I eat something healthy, then I don't have to worry about cravings. I don't have to worry about bloating. I don't have to worry about not having enough energy to do the things that I need to get done throughout the day. Another random example I can think of is my mindset. I used to be the type of person that used to believe in turning the other cheek. I still kind of do, but to a certain extent, once people disrespect me, I have to be able to show them that this is not that. You're not going to be able to just come over here and do whatever and say whatever you want to and then I not do anything about it because I'm trying to be the bigger person. Who's giving me the rule that I have to be the bigger person all the time? That's my thing. We have to get rid of all of these imaginary rules, any regulations, expectations from other people, from any religion, from any type of thing that is keeping you from being your free and sovereign self. That's what we have to worry about. There are no rules in this life. And the more that you hold yourself back by imaginary rules and expectations, you will never get to the life that you want to live. And we can use Instagram, for example. There's a lot of people that live a fake life on Instagram. There's a lot of people who feel like they can't get on Instagram or post whatever they want because it has to be a certain type of thing. But in reality, I use Instagram because I want to express myself in whatever type of way. I'm going to post whatever type of music I want. I'm going to post whatever types of pictures that I want. I'm going to put literally whatever I want because I'm not worried about what other people think about what I have to post, because my Instagram is for me. And I know some people will probably be like, well, why would you post it if you don't actually care what people think? And if it's actually for you, why are you posting it? That's the thing. I can post it. Who's to say just because I'm not trying to impress somebody that I'm not allowed to post it? That's a prime example of those rules that I'm talking about. We have to let go of those silent rules and expectations to how we live our life, because it doesn't make life enjoyable. For example, there was this lady online that I saw the other day that was getting a lot of hate for wearing her real hair to a wedding, and a lot of people were saying that she was unkept and she looked undone and not ladylike because she didn't have her hair slicked down, she didn't have on a whole bunch of makeup, she didn't have on a whole bunch of nails and stuff, which is exactly what I was talking about in my Being a Good Girl Has to Be Performative Femininity video, which y'all should go back and watch if you haven't already. But all of those people in the comments that were talking about her just because she didn't have a 613 bust down and she didn't have long nails and she didn't have a beat face to the gods and everything is exactly one of those silent expectations that I was talking about. Because imagine not being able to go to an event just because you don't have a lace front on. Imagine not being able to go somewhere or run to the store because you don't have on makeup. Imagine feeling like you can't dress however you want because people are going to label you as weird. Imagine feeling like you can't say and do whatever you want because people are going to disagree with you. Imagine not having a personality because you're afraid of people calling you weird. These are the silent expectations that I'm always talking about. These are the reasons why we have to learn how to break out of those, and we have to start living for ourselves. We genuinely do. We have to start living the life that we actually want to live, because at the end of the day, when we're all in our deathbed, those lace fronts, those bust downs, those pictures on Instagram, those nails, the hair, all of that stuff is not going to save us from the regret of not doing the things that we wanted to do in our life. Imagine taking a joy away from yourself because you're always trying to live up to a certain expectation. When I realized that I don't have to live up to anybody's expectations in my life, whether that's with how I present myself, whether it's who I talk to, whether it's what I enjoy, whether it's the music that I listen to, the opinions that I have, the clothes that I like to wear, the hair that I like, the makeup that I like, whatever the case may be. When I realized that that was not the case, I have never felt more free in my life, because I'm literally free to do whatever I want to do, because I'm telling you, there's nobody that's going to punish you. The only person that will punish you is your own mind. If you allow yourself to stay in a mental prison and punish yourself because you're too busy worried about what other people are going to think about you, that is on you. Because at the end of the day, all of the people that are judging you for whatever you like, whatever it is that you're into, all of the dreams that you have for yourself, they aren't even happy with themselves. They aren't even chasing their dreams themselves. They don't even know what it is that they want. They're not even free in their own mind because they're the ones that are still policing you. And it also comes down to your mindset. You have to get into this state of fearlessness. You cannot be afraid of anything. And I was talking about this with some people the other day. Like, one of the main reasons why I I feel so fearless in my life is because I've been through a lot of dark things that I had to handle on my own. There was a lot of low mental states that I had to climb myself out of by myself. And I personally feel like when you have to do that, when you have to go through hell alone, when you have to pull yourself out of dark spaces, there's literally nothing else that you can really be afraid of. I'm not saying that fear never pops up. I'm not saying that I never feel fear and I'm never nervous. But when it comes to certain things in life, there's just stuff that I'm not afraid of. There's not a lot of things that people could tell me that would make me back down. There's not a lot of stuff that people could do that would make me afraid. I'm not afraid of nothing or anybody, because there's been a lot of times that I've had people that were supposed to be there for me that have turned against me. I can't be afraid of nothing. I couldn't be afraid of those people. I've had to overcome those people. I had to overcome those situations. So what am I afraid of? And like I've been saying on my channel consistently for years is that, like, when you start to build your confidence and you use that and you strengthen it like a muscle and you reflect on all of the things that you've been through, you will start to realize that you've been through way worse. Whatever situation you feel like you cannot overcome, I promise you can. I'm not on here trying to be like a motivational speaker or anything, but fear is a lot of the reason why we don't move forward. Even fear of ourselves. We can't be afraid of ourselves either. It's not even always about other people, but sometimes we're afraid of ourselves. Like I was saying in one of my other videos, you gotta be okay with your shadow side. You have to be okay with the things that you've been through, because there's only one way out, and that's through. If you're too afraid to face your own self, how can you ever let down the guard of yourself? How can you ever let go of the expectations that you have on yourself silently? And when it comes to other people, we also have to be able to recognize when fear is somebody else's, because sometimes it's been ingrained in us from the people that we've been around, from the experiences that we had. It's not always our voice that's telling us to be afraid, because if it wasn't for the people that were telling you that you couldn't do it or that you should be afraid of a certain thing or a certain outcome, what would you actually do? Would you actually move forward, or would you stay where you are? Would you not pursue the things that you want to, or would you decide to keep going? These are the types of questions that we have to ask ourselves. And again, we can't be afraid to do that. Yes, people are going to have stuff to say. Yes, people might not agree with it. Yes, people might not like it, but at the end of the day, it's your life to live. It's not theirs. And when you really master yourself and you really master your mindset, you will start to understand that, you know what, I'm not afraid. What am I afraid of? Because I know who I am fully. I know who I am as a whole. I feel whole. I feel fulfilled. I feel at peace. I feel like I'm capable and I can do anything. But it's all a mindset thing. It's a soul thing. It's a healing thing. So if you wanted to start thinking another way, if you wanted to start believing something else, if you wanted to start dating a certain person, if you wanted to go to a certain place, you wanted to move to a certain place, you want to study a certain thing, you can literally do that. It's okay to change your mind. I know a lot of people will convince y'all that you have to stay stuck on one thing just because you chose it at a specific time in your life, but that's not true. There was a time in my life where I was doing certain specific type of content on here because that's what I wanted to do at that certain time in my life, and that was like vlogs and stuff like that. But then I realized, you know what, I don't have to stick to that. I can literally shift my content into doing what I want to do, and I've shifted so many different times because who's gonna whoop me? We have to be okay with reinventing ourselves. Reinvent yourself as many times as you need to. I done had like 1,000 lives at this point, okay? I don't even live the same life that I was living like 2 weeks ago, okay? But don't allow people to make you feel like you can't change your mind, because people change. People are always evolving. Sometimes the things that you go through shift your mindset and changes how you see the world, or changes how you deal with situations. Use the people that we used to date, for example. Just because you dated your ex in the past, would you date that same person today? No. Why would you not date that person today? Because you changed. Because they're not your type no more. Because you learned your lesson and you improved your confidence, your self-worth. You don't want nothing to do with the past because you want better for yourself, right? You're allowed to change your mind. You could say that you like this type of guy and then you decide, no, I don't like that type of guy. I want this type of guy, or I want this type of girl. You can use school, for example. Imagine thinking like, oh, I went into school thinking I wanted to do this major, but now that I'm in this space of my life, I actually want to change it. Who's gonna whoop you for deciding that you want to change your major? Nobody. So again, it all comes back to your confidence, mastering yourself, mastering your mindset, and really mastering your shadow side, and not being afraid of doing what it is that you want. Because honestly, to even tap into this type of fearlessness, you gotta really tap into your shadow side. You really have to not give a fuck what people are talking about. You really have to not care what other people think. You really have to not care about society's expectations. You have to be okay with being a rule breaker. You have to be okay with being free. You have to be okay with doing what you want. Because at the end of the day, the goal is to be fulfilled. At the end of the day, the goal is to be happy, to be at peace, to be okay with the decisions that you made, to look back on your life and be happy with it. To say, you know what, I did almost everything that I wanted to do in my life and I don't have any regrets. The only regrets you should really have is that you didn't do it sooner, to be honest. So you can literally just decide that you're on the right path, because there's never a right time to start anything, to have anything, and there's never going to be a perfect circumstance. There's never going to be somebody giving you permission. The only constraints that you have are in your mind, and they're only in your mind because you care too much about what other people are thinking. Because at the end of the day, if other people weren't in the world, would you still do what you wanted to do? That's the question of the day. So that is pretty much all that I have to say for this video. Let me know if you found any value from it, and if you did, please leave a like or a comment down below. It really does help my channel out a lot to know that you like videos like these. Let me know what y'all's thoughts were on this video, and really talk talk, because I really want to know what y'all thought. Go ahead and follow me on my Instagram right down below on the screen, and I will see y'all in my next video.